Welcome. Well, you are at home with Jim and Joy, and you are an important part of our EWTN family, and we are so delighted that you welcomed us into your home. You know, we would love to hear from you, so send us an email with a question or a comment to jimandjoy@EWTN.com. And remember that you can always listen to our show as a podcast. Just go out to EWTN's Podcast Central, EWTN.com/radio/podcast, or wherever you happen to listen to podcasts. Today, we are welcoming Sarah Wiese to the show. Now, Sarah is a wife and mother of 3 who lives in Auburn, Alabama. A Birmingham native, she embraced God's call to renew the culture of life after first experiencing the National March for Life as a student at Auburn University, and then taking teens on the same pilgrimage as a Catholic youth minister. So Sarah now serves as Biking for Babies recruiting and marketing director, inviting everyone to both embrace their own growth in holiness and support those in need as the start of a cultural renewal. And today she's going to speak with us about the beautiful organization Biking for Babies and how they are transforming hearts and minds to build a culture of life. And you can go out to the website bikingforbabies.com. And we had the pleasure of meeting Sarah many years ago when she came to our center, and she became the recruiting director, and we got to share with her about our center and our needs, and we too at one time were a recipient of Biking for Babies, and they sponsored our center, which was a beautiful.
We had somebody that volunteered at our center, a young girl.
Yes.
And then she went and became a Biker for Babies.
Yeah,
herself.
she went off to college, and then she hooked up with Biking for Babies also, and she was a writer, an official biker.
Well, everybody's welcome to join Biking for Babies in various capacities, to become missionaries for Biking for Babies, missionaries of life, actually involved in the riding campaigns, which could be as much as I think she was saying 100 miles per day, which is unbelievable because I'm not much of a biker at all. I'm a walker, jogger. And other ways people could support, and they're missionaries too, to support those main events. But I'm so glad in a special way they're pitching to young adults.
Yes.
Especially as Seek has just concluded on Monday, 22,000 people or more, young people, and now they're coming off of the mountaintop and all the teachings and the great time together, and now it's like, how do I serve the Lord? How do I serve? And there was so much talk, good talk, Sisters of Life, others, about the sanctity of human life, the sanctity of the human person, and what can we do to share the gospel of life with others. Biking for Babies might be the very answer for you, no matter what age you are, but especially as a young adult, that you can make this sacrifice of biking these long distances and be discipled in that and make sacrifice and proudly wear something that says Biking for Babies on you and testify to this world. So plenty more to come. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, our guest today is Sarah Wiese, and she is the recruiting and marketing director for Biking for Babies. You could go out to the website to learn more about it. It's bikingforbabies.com. Did you even know that an organization like this existed? Well, it's Pro-Life Month in January, and I know EWTN is going to be doing many programs and much coverage, especially with the March for Life that's happening nationally, and then there'll be local marches that are happening. So we, in this beautiful new year, we are bringing to you Biking for Babies. Well, Sarah, we're excited to have you, and we want you first to tell our family a little bit about Sarah, how you got involved with the pro-life movement, and tell our family the mission of Biking for Babies.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. So I'm an Auburn native, but I grew up here in Birmingham. I have a wonderful small family, 3 kids, including a little baby. She's been wonderful to us. And I'm an Auburn grad, so my college experience was very formative for me. That was really the first time that I kind of knew about the pro-life movement as a whole. And I got to go to the National March for Life when I was a college student for the first time, which is an incredible experience for anyone that's gone. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of people, that are able to speak to this beautiful truth and human dignity in life. And there was just something so captivating and joyous about being at that March for Life. People were excited to defend life and to celebrate life at its roots. And that became something I was really passionate about. So I became a youth minister later on, was able to bring some of my own teens on that pilgrimage to DC, an 18-hour bus ride to DC.
It's a pilgrimage.
Exactly, and got to witness the joy through their eyes as well. And just realized that that was something that we needed to focus on in our family. That was something that we needed to focus on in our world and our culture. And so in college, I came to know about Biking for Babies through one of my friends, his now brother John Mary, who's a Disc House Carmelite now. And he was building a team to go from St. Augustine, Florida to Chicago for Biking for Babies in 8 days. And he said, we need some help. Would you like to come with us on this exciting adventure? I didn't really know what I was signing up for, but we went in 8 days, and I was partnered with a pregnancy resource center and got to advocate on their behalf and share the world, what is it that they're actually doing in pregnancy centers? What is it that our resources are available for women where we were locally, and was able to fundraise on their behalf and was able to share a financial award with them. Biking for Babies at large is about cultural renewal. We are inviting young people to find their place in this cultural renewal, matching their personal growth and holiness with tangible support for women served at pregnancy resource centers in an effort to renew the culture of life at large. We really believe that cultural renewal starts first with a personal transformation and holiness. It's a heart issue at the bottom line, and so we aim to make that renewal happen within young adults today.
It's interesting that you speak about your encounter with the gospel of life through the March for Life, and what kept coming to me is the power of public witnessing.
Yes.
And I really find, we find in our history that if, parents would take their children, no matter how young, out to the streets in a March for Life or praying at an abortion mill and standing up publicly, that encounter for that young person really gets into them. They may even be asking the question, why am I out on the street like this, or what's going on? And like you said, being with that many people is very encouraging. But there's something about public witness on behalf of the civilization of life and love and confronting injustice together that just gets in your bones.
Yes.
And I think it's more of a possibility that our children will continue. And that's certainly your story. You did the March for Life, and then now you're involved with another ministry that you're going to unpack that's deeply spiritual, formation, but it has that public witness element that you're before society, making a witness to life. Out of sight, out of mind, in sight, in mind. Most of our time now is spent inside, a pregnancy medical center and trying to save babies to help women. But you make the point in your literature too, but the importance of being outside, bearing witness to others. Maybe we could prevent something or educate society while we're very busy on the inside doing what we have to do is trying to save these babies, but we need multiple things going on.
That's
and
right.
public witness is just so important.
Absolutely.
Continue to unpack for us, Bikers for Babies and the different aspects to this.
Right. Well, many of our young adult missionaries, we call them, because that's truly what they are when they come into our program. They're carrying this joy and this message of the gospel of life back into their communities. They come in because they say they want an opportunity to really live out their faith in a very active way. We do provide lots of formation that is at-home study for them. They go through different modules in a program where they learn pro-life education. They learn about John Paul II's gospel of life. But really that public witness that you're talking about, it's something that they're able to get behind, and it's something that they are able to say, this is what I'm doing for the pro-life movement. I say that I'm pro-life, but what does that mean? This is what it means. I'm willing to sacrifice my time, my comforts, my resources, all of those different things in order to help the woman who is considering, maybe she is considering abortion, who just really needs help to say yes to life. And this is how I can concretely help her. And like I said, we really know that this starts with personal transformation. So at the bare minimum of things, at the base level of things, we want to make sure that our young adults are walking away from any of our programming knowing Christ better, right? If they don't know Christ better through all of this, we haven't done our job well. And Jesus is the one who provides that transformation. He's the one that provides that conversion of heart and spirit, so that when we go back into our own communities, we can speak to, this is what pregnancy centers are doing. Our missionaries are aged 18 to 39. That's kind of our target demographic age. And statistically, in the 20s is when women are most likely to have an abortion, So there's a lot of time that our young adults are going back into their communities, and they know women who have experienced abortion. They know women who might be contemplating or just have an unplanned pregnancy and need help. And they've been equipped and are able and confident enough, bold, courageous enough to say, I can help you, I can find resources for you, I can help you say yes to life and walk with you through this unplanned.
Right. Yep. And how beautiful it is, especially in this coming off of the Epiphany weekend, because we have heard many stories of clients who are maybe contemplating an abortion in an unplanned pregnancy, and they're crying out, oh God, give me a sign. What am I supposed to do with this baby, right? Yes. And then they're riding on the road and they see biking for babies, and they're like, what is that, right? I mean, we had a couple that it was a bumper sticker on the car, and they were a Christian couple. They were having sex outside the bonds of marriage. They found themselves in an unplanned pregnancy, and they were seriously considering an abortion, driving to the abortion clinic. Wow. At the same time, crying out to God to give them a sign.
Yes. Epiphany, yeah.
It was an epiphany, and it was a bumper sticker. And he turned to the girl, and she really was the one who really wanted to have the abortion. And he said, that's our sign. And they turned the car around, and they came back to the center, but it takes courage to be a visible witness, to get out on the street and to ride. You said one of the first rides was from St. Augustine, Florida, up to Chicago?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's far, right?
It's 800 miles.
Yeah, that's really far. And so you got involved in that, but you didn't ride. So what was the capacity in which you served?
Yeah, what's the deal that you don't ride a bike?
I know, never ridden a bike for Biking for Babies. They can't convince me to do it.
So there's a place for everybody.
There is a place for everybody. So within our program, there's two different roles. People can be riders, where they're actually hopping on the bikes. They're training for months to do these. We say it's 6 days of 100 miles a day. So it's around 600 miles in a week on the bikes.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. So we have the riders, but then we also have support crew missionaries who go through the same programming. They go through the pro-life education, all those kinds of things as well. But during the week of the national ride itself, they're driving the support vehicle that contains all of their gear, their supplies. They're helping with navigation through the country. They're setting up events along the way. So we stay with different communities, parishes, church groups, families, different things like that, and they're getting those things set up. So even people who can't bike or don't want to bike 100 miles a day, there's definitely a place for them that's very service-oriented, that teaches something a little different, right? It's still very sacrificial, just like the riders who are sacrificing their comfort on the bike for those 100 miles a day, but it's still very sacrificial, just in a different way.
Yeah, and so when you go along the way and you stop, and you have speaking engagements, and then that's another opportunity to witness and to recruit people, and not just say, maybe you can't get on a bike, but you can support these bikers, and which are helping then to raise money to go back to the pregnancy medical centers, resource centers, whatever they are, right?
Right, exactly. There's a place for everyone. And we also like to go through the communities and just encourage whatever they're already doing. You know, there's so many thousands of people who are, already in the pro-life movement, who are connected to pregnancy resource centers wherever they are. And so our hope is that, this is what we've been called to do. This is what the Lord has placed in our hearts in this season. What is the Lord asking you to do? Maybe it's joining Biking for Babies and for doing this journey, but maybe it's something different wherever you are. And are you saying yes to that? Have you relinquished the control in your life to be able to say yes to whatever the Lord has for you right where you are?
That's such an important word as we're coming off of Seek, with 25,000 young adults that have gone to the Seek presentation in 3 cities. And I've watched a good bit of it, and so it really is a mountaintop experience, excellent teaching. And I do know in the last day or so, they really are focusing on, you got to come down from this mountain.
That's right.
And at the Sisters of Life and other people, they're saying, you've got to be a missionary for Christ, or missionary of life. And so it's not enough that you're just up here on the mountaintop. You think of the Transfiguration with the 3 that were with our Lord and what they saw. And so, could we just pitch our tents here and stay here? You just want to stay here. So you got to go down.
That's right.
You got to go down, and you've got to give your life on my behalf. And so Bikers for Babies and other pro-life ministries or other things that you can do, there's no option, really. I mean, you've got to, every Catholic is called to be an evangelist of human dignity redeemed by the cross, and you're sent by God to evangelize this world. That was John Paul II. Every Catholic is called to be a missionary or an evangelist of human dignity, and you're sent by God to evangelize this world. So where do you plug in? I mean, do you know what's going on? We're offering you this to get involved. When did this begin? Who began this? Who came up with this?
Yeah, so it started in 2009 with 2 college students who just knew that they needed to do something impactful with their faith, and both of them had backgrounds in endurance athletics. One of them had a dream and a goal in life to do multiple century rides on a bike, 100-mile rides on a bike, just kind of for fun. And they said, what if we combine that with what JP2 invited us to do when he came to World Youth Day in Denver, and he invited all of us to, defend life. He said, woe to you if you do not defend life. So they took that and ran with it. So over their spring break 1 year in college, they rode across the state of Illinois. They raised $14,000 for their local pregnancy resource center. But really the pivotal experience that they had on that journey was visiting that center along the way. And they were able to hold a baby who was saved by the efforts of those at the center. And they said, this is so powerful and such a worthwhile use of our gifts that the Lord has given to us, that we want to make this experience, repeatable and open to other young adults like us. So since then, we just celebrated our Sweet 16 year. Since then, we formed just about 300 missionaries, young people, multiple who have done our program multiple times. We have served over 175 pregnancy resource centers, and we have donated just shy of $2.5 million to pregnancy resource centers to support their incredible efforts. And it's amazing.
And you've pedaled 36,135 miles across there. You remembered all those. I pulled it off your website. What beautiful, almost $2.5 million that you've given. We're going to take a break at this point, get your best stuff ready for when we come back. We want to hear more about Biking for Babies, bikingforbabies.com, bikingforbabies.com. Plenty more to come. We'll be right back. What are you doing for the gospel of life? Maybe this is a ministry that you can sow into with your money, or you can be a support missionary when they take these long trips, or maybe you can be a biker missionary and bearing testimony before the world that you go before. I'm Biking for Babies. We'll be right back. Plenty more to come. Don't go away. Finishing up our conversation with Sarah Wiese regarding the great ministry of Biking for Babies. In your literature and in the way you share, you speak about the capacity in every human being to give, to love. That could be pressed down as well, maybe especially with younger people, young adults. So your ministry speaks right into this, about those who give their lives away, find their lives, as Jesus said. If you want to find your life, you're going to lose your life. how does this all fit in for biking for babies and your missionaries and people who are supporting this?
Absolutely. So everyone does have that capacity to love, right? It's written into our nature. Jesus Christ reveals it to us himself when he died on the cross for us. And in a world that has produced, a lot of young adults who are very self-centered, right? That's the world tells us to take care of yourself first. Make sure you have your needs met before anybody else's. A world that has young adults with lots of anxiety. We actually have this really beautiful moment to minister to these young adults and say, what's better than control is losing that control, right?
Wow.
And it's scary.
Say that again.
What's better than having that control is losing that control.
That's
And
right.
offering that to the Lord and saying, Lord, I want you to lead where I'm supposed to be. I might not know where it is, but I want you to lead that. Because really that's at the heart of the
Yes.
abortion movement too, right? Is that we want control over
right.
our circumstances. We see that in any other number of places with young adults as well. And so our hope is that we speak into that particular moment, this amazing opportunity, and say, no, this is a chance for you to lose your control, and invite the Lord into that moment so that you fully are relying on him, that you learn what sacrifice is. Our National Ride program offers that in very physical ways, right? There's no reason that we should be riding 600 miles straight. That's not something that humans really should be able to do, especially people who are learning to ride bikes.
Yes.
But we do it so that we are able to say, Lord, like, if you want me to accomplish this mission that you've put in my life, you're going to have to step in, and I'm going to trust that you are going to show up right now. In the same way, our missionaries will take that out in the streets with them and share that rhetoric with, with the women who are experiencing unplanned pregnancies and those families, that maybe this is not what you had planned. But our response to the unplanned can be to give it to God and to let him control that situation and just trust that he's going to be taking care of us.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank God we have you back for tomorrow, because I have a feeling there's a lot more you want to unpack in terms of formation and this great work of biking for babies, bikingforbabies.com. Go there now. You can serve the Lord in this way, serve the gospel of life in this way, bear witness to the gospel of life in this way. And maybe you are post-abortive, or maybe you assisted somebody in an abortion. This is another great way to make reparation, to repair. And I want to work this out biking, or I want to support these bikers. I want to be involved in this way. And so it's not just for those who are just perfect in the gospel of life. It could be for those of us who've really fallen in a particular way and say, I really feel like I could do something physically here. And just kind of work this out with the Lord. He forgives my sins. He set me free. But I want to do a work of repair. Let the whole world know God's love for life and for babies and for moms. You're an important part of this EWTN family. You're never alone. And you're always at home with Jim and Joy. Bye now.